Hi, Caleb here, and today we're going to be looking into the mystery of the Oklahoma Octopus for our first week of our Spooky October videos. Hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so here is the entrance to Lake Thunderbird. So Lake Thunderbird does not have a toll booth like a lot of the other state parks, especially in Oklahoma, to pay, but there are spots where there's basically like a QR code that you can scan and you pay to park. We'll go ahead and drive down to the lake so we can see where this octopus is supposed to live. Now, we're almost to the lake. Now the octopus is supposed to live in Lake Thunderbird or Tinkiller or Oolegah. That's Oolagah. I never know how to pronounce that. But everybody basically has a different story. Just like Bigfoot and whatnot, everybody kind of has a different theory or story of where it lives. But Lake Thunderbird is where I decided to go do the hike and tell you guys the story about, so we're just going to stick to Lake Thunderbird. Here's the lake. It's a nice little lake. It's right outside of Norman, Oklahoma, which Norman has the University of Oklahoma. See how murky the water is? Pretty dark. Okay, so we'll start on the trail, and I'll get to telling you the story. So the legend is there's an octopus that lives in the murky waters of Lake Thunderbird, Lake Tinkiller, or Lake whatever one. The one that starts with an O. Even Animal Planet's show Lost Tapes aired an investigation back in the early 2000s. And in that one, it's like in a lake in Oklahoma, and it has a bunch of like old, I think it's 80s or 70s style clothes, whatever. But yeah. And the octopus reportedly drags swimmers down to their deaths with its many arms. So that's pretty spooky. Now, the Oklahoma Octopus has granted no photogenic clues, no matter how blurry or improbable. So like Bigfoot and UFOs and such, there are all these photos. Even if they're like super blurry, there's nothing with the octopus. But the people believe that the Oklahoma Octopus has either gone into rivers from the ocean and over a time has adapted to be freshwater, like some sharks. Like there's been stories of some sharks being able to swim up through the Mississippi River and, been in there. Or they're like prehistoric, like fossils from the prehistoric age that have just adapted, that have, over time just adapted to live in the lakes. Now, the problem with the prehistoric octopuses that have just adapted are that all the lakes in question were built in the mid-20s, 1920s, so that wouldn't work, really. So yeah. But that doesn't change the fact that there have been very numerous mysterious drownings. Well, all three lakes are popular for boating, tubing, swimming, and fishing. Which means a lot of people are on the lakes, and not all of those people are either sober or they are not experienced. You can go rent a boat or a tube, which even in the year 2020, which that's this year, with the whole pandemic, there was record numbers at the Lake Thunderbird, at least. So with people who are drunk or, inexperienced on being on the water, there's a lot more likely people to have accidents or drowned. So I think that would inflate the numbers a lot, in my opinion. Now, that doesn't explain how some people swear uh, that they felt something wrap around their leg and start to pull them under the water. Now, I've swam in a lot of lakes and a lot of ponds and rivers and such, and I have had weeds wrap around my legs, and not that it's felt like it's pulled me under, but it has, scared me. You don't know what's underwater, especially in places like Oklahoma where you can hold your hand, at your belly button and you not be able to see your hand because it's that dirty. But anything's possible. So, if you've had experiences with the Oklahoma Octopus, leave it down in the comments because I'm super curious. I had trouble finding, like, basically people's stories. But yeah. Lake Thunderbird, if you aren't into boating and that kind of stuff, it does have quite numerous trails. I chose this one, which I think it was called the Crystal Bay Loop or something like that. It's about a 30-minute trail. It wasn't hard at all. There was a spot that felt a little bit like I got lost for a second, but I just pulled up the All Trails app on my phone and was able to get out of there super easy. But yeah, so next week we are going to be looking into some of the haunted stories in Guthrie, Oklahoma. Guthrie was the first Oklahoma, or capital in Oklahoma, and so it has quite a bit of history, and a lot of haunted history, and so I'm really excited about that. The other places other things we're looking into this month, I'm going to go to Hanoba to look around at their Bigfoot Festival. And then Brown Springs, which if you followed me on my Facebook, I have posted about before. But Brown Springs is a pretty haunted cemetery / natural spring. And then I think for the final episode, for October, we are going to look into one of the urban legends that scared me the most as a kid, which is Crybaby Bridge. Now, sorry, I get distracted. Anyway, so we're going to look into the legend of Crybaby Bridge. Now, Crybaby Bridge, if you don't know, it seems like every little town has a story about a Crybaby Bridge, and Oklahoma has a couple, and so I went to a couple of them just to check them out. So hopefully you guys are excited as I am about the October videos, and then after October we will be going back to our regularly, just hiking videos. Hope you guys enjoyed. And that was the story of the Oklahoma Octopus in Lake Thunderbird in Norman, Oklahoma. Hope you guys enjoyed. Next week we will be looking into some of the ghost stories in Guthrie, Oklahoma. See you then. Okay, if you push this circle right here, you'll subscribe to my channel. And if you push this one right here, it'll take you to the previous hike. And then this one right here will take you to the full playlist of all the Oklahoma hikes.